You just laughed at something today. Maybe a meme, maybe a friend's joke. Maybe you laughed at nothing at all, just to fill an awkward silence. It felt small, automatic, meaningless. But the real answer is far stranger. That laugh you barely noticed is a fossil. Not one made of bone or stone, but one carried inside your body, passed down from ancestors who needed it to stay alive. Think about that for a second. Why would evolution bother making you laugh? Laughing burns calories. It makes noise. It leaves you briefly defenseless, doubled over, unable to run or fight. In a world full of predators, that should have gotten your ancestors killed. And yet here you are, laughing at cat videos. Something that expensive doesn't survive 100,000 years by accident. It survives because it worked. To understand why, you have to go back. Not just centuries, hundreds of thousands of years, to small bands of early humans moving across dangerous landscapes together. No written language yet. No courts, no police, no contracts. Just people depending entirely on each other to survive the night. In that world, trust was everything. And trust is hard to fake. This is where the story gets interesting. The psychologist Robin Dunbar has spent decades studying how humans bond in groups, and his research points to something surprising. Laughter, he found, triggers a flood of endorphins in the brain, the same chemicals released during exercise or touch. Shared laughter isn't just a reaction. It's a bonding mechanism wired into your nervous system to pull people closer together, fast. Picture it. A small group sitting around a fire. Someone stumbles or fumbles a spear, or does an impression of the group's biggest bully. Laughter breaks out. In that instant, tension drops. Strangers feel like allies. People who might have been suspicious of each other a moment earlier suddenly feel safe. That safety was not a luxury. It was survival infrastructure. Here's something you probably never thought about. Laughter is almost impossible to fake convincingly. Try it right now. Force a laugh and it sounds hollow, mechanical, wrong. Your brain and every brain around you is built to detect the difference between real laughter and performed laughter. Neuroscientist Robert Provine spent years recording thousands of real-life laughs in public settings, and one of his most striking findings was this. Most laughter has nothing to do with jokes at all. People laugh far more often during ordinary conversation than during anything resembling comedy. That detail changes everything. If laughter isn't mainly about humor, what is it actually for? It's a signal. A costly, hard-to-fake signal, similar to a peacock's tail or a wolf baring its throat. When you laugh with someone genuinely, spontaneously, you are broadcasting something your ancestors needed strangers to know instantly. You are broadcasting this. I am not a threat. I am with you. You can lower your guard around me. Now here's the twist most people never expect. If laughter alone signals trust, then humor, the ability to make other people laugh, signals something even more valuable. It signals intelligence, quick thinking, the mental flexibility to notice an unexpected connection between two ideas and share it before anyone else does. Evolutionary psychologist Gil Greengross has studied this directly, and his work found that people who scored higher on humor production also tended to score higher on measures of verbal intelligence, and that humor consistently ranks as one of the most desired traits in a potential partner across cultures. Suddenly, being funny isn't a personality quirk. It's a mating display. A cognitive fitness test performed in real time, in front of an audience that is quietly judging whether you'd make a good partner, a good ally, a good parent. Think about what that means for the class clown you knew growing up, or the coworker who always has the perfect joke at the perfect moment. Their brain isn't just being silly, it's running one of the oldest advertisements in human history. But humor did more than help you find a partner. It helped entire groups survive. Imagine two bands of early humans competing for the same resources, the same territory. One group is rigid, humorless, quick to anger over small mistakes. The other jokes about failures, laughs off a bad hunt, teases each other without lasting resentment. Which group recovers faster from disaster? Which group forgives a wrong decision instead of fracturing into violence over it? Humor, especially self-deprecating humor, works like social glue and social pressure release valve combined. It lets people point out mistakes without triggering a fight. It lets a group laugh at a failed hunt instead of turning on the hunter who failed. Groups that could do this stayed together longer. Groups that stayed together longer survived harsher winters, deadlier predators, tougher rivals. Your ancestors weren't just laughing to feel good. They were laughing to keep the group alive. There's an even stranger layer underneath this. Laughter is contagious, almost against your will. Hear someone laughing nearby, and you'll likely feel an urge to smile or laugh too, even without knowing the joke. Provine's research described this as one of the most reliable automatic responses in human behavior, more contagious than yawning. Your brain has literally been shaped to catch laughter from others, the same way it catches yawns, because syncing emotional states across a group made coordinated survival easier. A band that felt unified, that moved and reacted together, outlived a band of disconnected individuals. So the next time you laugh at a joke, you don't even find that funny. Just because everyone around you is laughing, you're not being fake. You're running ancient software. Software built for cohesion, not comedy. Now hold on to that idea, because it explains something deeply strange about modern life. You live in a world flooded with humor, memes, sitcoms, comedians, group chats built entirely around jokes. Why does humor still feel so essential, even though you're rarely in physical danger? Even though your survival doesn't actually depend on bonding with the people in your office group chat, because your brain doesn't know the difference. It still reads shared laughter as a signal of safety, of belonging, of alliance. When a joke lands in a meeting and the whole room laughs, something ancient in you quietly registers. These people are my people. When you scroll through memes late at night and laugh alone, some part of your nervous system is still trying to simulate that same ancient reward, connection, safety, belonging, even without another human present. This is also why bad jokes can feel so uncomfortable, and why forced laughter in a group can feel oddly exhausting. Your brain is built to detect authenticity in laughter. When it senses a fake signal, tension doesn't disappear. It builds. And this is why the funniest person in a group so often becomes its emotional center, without ever holding formal power. They're not just entertaining people, they're performing the oldest job humor ever had, reading the room, releasing tension, signaling that everyone is safe, and quietly proving, joke after joke, that their mind is sharp enough to be worth keeping close. So think again about that laugh you had today. The meme, the joke with a friend. The awkward laugh to fill silence. None of it was meaningless. It was your body running a program written over hundreds of thousands of years, in firelit camps, among people who needed to know, instantly and without words, who could be trusted. You didn't just laugh at something today. Your ancestors' oldest survival tool just fired inside you, one more time, exactly as it was built to.